Something I hear regularly from DPS users is, how do I set up email notifications? I'd like to get an email alert when something happens at one of my remote sites, so how do I go about setting that up? As an example today, I have a NetGuardian 480G4 remote, and it's important to note that there are many different NetGuardian models. There are also RTUs known as temp defenders and other names. Most of them run on the same platform, so everything you see here is going to be perhaps identical, and if not, at least quite similar to what I'm about to show you. You'll start off at the green provisioning menu and then click on notifications. You can see that this NetGuardian 480 already has some setup. We are sending SNMP traps to 2 different SNMP managers, so that's using 2 of our 8 available slots for notification devices. So I can leave them alone and just proceed with slot 3, which is currently unused, and I will click Edit. Of course it's disabled because we never used it before, and you can turn on I want to get alerts on both alarms and clears, or alarms only, or clears only. I think both is probably the most common choice, and that's generally what I'm going to use, so that's what I'll set up right here. Sending email is already selected. I don't want to send SNMP or relay groups, so email is ready to go, and we'll click Next. You get a notice that you need to write to the unit. But the key part here is after you are finished with your changes. You can make changes on many different screens, and then once you're finally done, then write. So there's no sense in writing and writing and writing. We'll just do that once at the end. The first field on this screen is your mail server, your SMTP server. If you don't know what that is, your IT department should be able to help you out. It's going to be a simple address or maybe an IP address. And in this case, I'm going to use mail.theprotocol.com as my email server. If you don't know otherwise, you want to use port 25. That's the default for this sort of thing. Your from email address is really just a label. And this is just going to tell you when you get an email message, who's it coming from? And it's going to either come from this remote, or maybe in this case, this is our Fresno main office. So maybe I do Fresno main office at our domain. I'll probably just call it NetGuardian. Let's assume that I don't have very many of these, and this will be a simple enough address for me. And we'll do it at the same domain. Now the to address actually matters. This is who I'm going to send the email to, and this is probably going to be me in this case. So I'll just use my name, theprotocol.com. You just want to use whatever your email address is at your company. And let's say no authentication, but if you did need to use authentication, you can set that up and then give it your username and password. I will go ahead and click Next now. The last bit is setting up a schedule. So right now it's set up to send me emails any time of day or night, any day of the week, whenever anything happens. But you can see that I can customize this pretty nicely. Let's assume that I'm responsible during the day and then someone else is on call after hours and on weekends. So what I would do there is disable Sunday and Saturday, and then I could set the time range to something more reasonable, like let's say I'll start at 7 in the morning and cut it off at, we'll go till 5:59, but anything after that, after 6, I'm off the clock. So that would be what we could set up, and we just select that option. And then if we wanted to, let's say maybe I had some availability on weekends, we can actually put me 24 hours on weekends. So this is one particular configuration where I have during the week from 7 to 5:59, and then on weekends from midnight to midnight, so the entire weekend. You can set up many different combinations, and this is just one example. You would just do whatever makes sense for your operation. And after you set up one user, keep in mind this is just notification 3. I have 5 others, so I could set up one person to get emails during one time, other people to get emails at the other times. When I click Save and Finish, you can see I'm back at the main screen, and now it's been configured. I have the email address listed, who's it going to come from, and who's it going to go to, what's the server, and this is set up. So now to actually get it into the system and get the thing operational, I will go down to Device Access, as the message at the top tells me, and I will click Write. And you can see after a few seconds you get a pop-up that the data has been submitted to the server. And at this point, it's been written to the unit and we have our notification online. So that's how easy it is to use this wizard to set up email notifications when you get incoming alarms. If you'd like to see a live demo of this or any other NetGuardian feature, just call DPS at 1-800-693-0351.